Oh god, are you ready for the cringe?
Yeah. My armpits are... Hi! Hello.
Hello there.
We're back.
Finally. So it's 2017 now. We haven't been on here for a few months.
Since last year. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, we kind of had some technical problems with the camera situation, and then school happened and finals happened.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Thanks for being so patient. We're really excited to start our videos again, and this time actually be consistent with, you know, putting them up. Now to our topic of the week.
Drum roll! So do you ever feel not so clean down there? Well, today's your lucky day, because I don't feel so clean down there either. I started my period yesterday!
And now we're gonna talk about it! We're not gonna get into the logistics of periods and how they happen and stuff like that. We're just gonna tell you our experiences with periods and a couple of stories. Starting with our first period story. It's the magical time in a young preteen's life when they realize that they don't know what the heck they're doing.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So, I was the last girl in my class to get my period. I thought there was something wrong with me, but I was only 13, so it's actually not that big a deal in hindsight. But I remember I was at home, thankfully, doing homework, and I felt something wrong. Like, it felt wet. So I was like, maybe I have to pee. I went to the bathroom and like realized that there was blood. And I remember just sitting there on the toilet thinking, well, now what do I do? Because I was home alone. So I was just sitting there for about 20 minutes until I finally heard my mom open the front door. So that was kind of awkward, but it could have been worse.
Oh yes. Now my first period, I mean, I was not alone, luckily. I don't remember how old I was. I know I was going into middle school though. It was like right before I was gonna go to bed. I went to the restroom and I saw the blood. I wasn't freaking out, but I just didn't know what to do. I know I needed to put on a pad and stuff like that, but I just didn't know how it worked. I had called out to my sister. I guess she felt uncomfortable watching me. She told me to take off the little sticker thing and put it on. I don't know if you guys do this, but I mean like, now it's different. I wouldn't wear underwear when I was gonna go to sleep. So I didn't have underwear on and I stuck the pad to my PJ pants. And I just felt like, you know what, there's a lot of space. I feel like the blood's gonna go in other areas, like not on the pad. So then she came in, she's like, oh, did you finish it? I said, yeah, it's just like, do you put two or like, she thought I was like the dumbest person ever. So she told me to put on the underwear and yeah. So in case you guys are barely starting your period, you put on your underwear. There's like instructions on it, no? Or
not really. It's kind of self-explanatory. You just kind of like
out, take it out,
stick it on.
Should I show them the pad?
Sure.
These are my pads.
That is a pad.
So mine have like a little sticker right here.
This is a standard pad.
Yeah. This is what it looks like. You take it off like this.
And you stick it to your underwear.
So it's like a little diaper for the older.
It's like a tiny vagina diaper.
Yes, and it's really cute.
Pads are pretty harmless, unlike tampons. I commend all the girls who can just go in, whoop, put it in, and be on their merry way. That is not the case for everyone. It took me a long time, and I'm still kind of weirded out wearing tampons, or putting them in anyway. Tampons, they're kind of a hit and miss. If you put them in right, they're great and you can't feel them. But if you put them in wrong, like if they're a slightly different angle, then it feels like hell. And if you try to put them on when you're not quite like in your period, so like it's still kind of dry, it feels like someone is pulling out your vagina. I don't know how to say it in terms that make sense. It just feels wrong.
It does. No matter what anyone tells you, it feels uncomfortable the first time you put it in, and maybe the second.
It takes a while to get used to it, and to be relaxed enough, that's the key. You have to be relaxed when you're putting in a tampon. So, it always takes me forever to put in a tampon, but the only time I really put them on is when I'm going on dates. I remember this one particular time I went on a date and I went into the bathroom to change my tampon, and I swear I was in there for like 20 minutes just putting on the tampon because I didn't feel comfortable enough to try to put it in. I only had one, so I was like, if I mess this up then there's no going back. It's kind of a struggle, but to be fair, I have had a little more success than Giselle.
I don't wear tampons anymore. I have only worn tampons twice in my life. The first time I put on tampons, I was at Sacramento, and I was like in this club, so I had to go to meetings, but no one had an extra pad, so they're like, oh, some girl had a tampon. So I was like, okay, you know what, this meeting is really long. If I don't put that on, I'm gonna have to keep going in to put on toilet paper. So you know what, let's do this. I was not relaxed at all because I was freaking out. I was like, I'm sticking something up in there, and there's never been anything up in there. I didn't get the whole thing in there. So the whole time I had half of it in and half of it hanging out. Then the second time I was on a cruise with my family. My sister, she brought tampons, and my mom was in the bathroom with me. My sister was on the phone with us, like giving us instructions on how to put it on, and my mom had to put it on for me.
You know, everyone has those stories, those period stories, where it's just kind of like, ooh, I wish that didn't happen. My Christmas tradition is that my brothers come over our house and we have brunch and then we open presents together. So we were opening presents and I felt that I had my period. Now, I didn't know if I had stained the couch or not, and I thought, if I get up right now and everything is stained, then that means I have to walk through my living room full of all my relatives, including my brothers, to go into the bathroom and hope that there's a pad there. Honestly, I don't even remember what I ended up doing, but I just remember that I was just sitting there like opening my presents like, yeah, this is great, like I'm trying not to move right now.
With me, my periods, I have the worst cramps ever. And I know there's some people out there that say like, oh yeah, I get cramps also, but no, I feel like I'm about to die. So yesterday, when I started my period, I started in the morning and then I was gonna go to Costco with my brother. And when we got there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the restroom. And right when I left the restroom, I was like, oh, the cramps are coming back. So that's fine. I was able to handle it. And I started feeling really sick and lightheaded, and I was like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I was like, okay, I just need to make it to the restroom. So I was running to the restroom, and halfway through, I was like, now I have to pee. So I got to the restroom and I peed, but right when I sat down, I was like, oh shit, I cannot move. Like, it felt like a ball of pain on my stomach. I felt like if I moved, I was gonna pass out. I felt like my feet were sweating. I felt heat everywhere. I had to start taking off my shirt. So I was on the toilet with my pants down, my underwear down, and my shirt off. It took me about, like, my brother told me, half an hour. So I just needed the pain to go away enough for me to get back to the car and knock out.
That's kind of the story that inspired this video. We just wanted to rant about it for a bit. I just got off mine and she just got on it.
If you have more questions about it, like, we don't mind answering.
Or if you have your own period stories, then go ahead and leave them down below. We'd love to read them.
That's it for periods today.
Thank you again for being so patient with us.
Hit the thumbs up.
Hit the like, hit subscribe.
Tell your friends. Like, hey, you know what? These two girls, you should subscribe to them. You know, if you think we're cool, we think you're cool too.
We'll see you again.
The next time we put up a video.
Bye.